So on WVU's campus, we actually see recycling as a cost-saving measure. We do have tipping fees that are associated with throwing trash into landfills. So when you take trash from campus to the dump, you have to pay $55 per ton as a flat rate, plus based on how much tonnage you're bringing to the landfill to dispose of that waste.
Know about how much trash we actually have a day compared to recycling?
On our campus, we have about a 33% diversion rate. So that means about 33% of what is able to be recycled is recycled on this campus. And that's pretty average across the country for universities. The really, really good ones that we aspire to be more like have about a 60% diversion rate, meaning they capture about 60% of what is able to be recycled. So we're working to get from that 30s number up to a goal of 60 would be a really great number for us.
Okay. Do you know anything about how they get their percentages so high with recycling on other campuses that have like 60%? Like what goes into that?
Yeah, so different campuses, recycling is a very regional thing. So, here in Morgantown, we are in a city, but overall the state of West Virginia is fairly rural. And that does affect how you run recycling programs. The volume, because you have lower populations, the volume of recycling is less. So you're probably moving those recyclables a further distance for them to be processed than you would in, say, Philadelphia or New York City. So that affects the cost of your program. You're going to have more labor costs, more fuel costs, things like that. And a university that, say, does have a 60% diversion rate, that can, different states have different laws. Some are required to recycle. Here on WVU's campus, it is a voluntary program. It's something that is not a policy. Buildings, students, staff choose to do it. That can affect things, as well as the type of recycling. A lot of universities are moving towards single stream recycling, where all of your recycling, no matter what it is, if it's plastic or aluminum or paper, all goes in the same bin, and you see higher volume rates for that. But there are pros and cons to that type of system.
One thing that we noticed when we were kind of walking around campus looking for recycling bins, we noticed that there's an overwhelming amount of trash cans. Do you think that hurts the recycling in any way?
Yes, we want to add more recycling bins, and we would like the ratio. We would like to recycle more than we throw away. That would be the ultimate goal. So yes, we'd like to increase the number of recycling bins, decrease the number of trash bins, and there are some nuances to that. Trash cans on campus are purchased by that department. So if I work in this building and I decide I need a trash can here, I can use my departmental budget to buy it. Whereas recycling is run centrally, and all recycling bins on campus are placed by one central office.
It seems like there would be a lot of plastic and paper that gets thrown away on this campus. Do you think that has any effect on the recycling that we could do?
Our four biggest commodities are paper, plastic, number one, plastic in particular, aluminum, and cardboard. And on campus, overwhelmingly, our larger tonnage is through paper and cardboard. We do waste audits on campus, so we actually have volunteers go through our waste stream and see what it's made up of. The last one we did was in the fall of 2011, and about 30% of our waste stream was actually compostable, so made up of food or paper towels or tissues, things that can be composted. So that's one area that we're looking at for the future, is how can we divert that compostable material from going to landfills and use that and recycle that into mulch that we can use for landscaping on campus. So we're looking into things like that, and that's why we do those waste audits, to kind of monitor, okay, what are we actually producing as far as waste goes on campus.
What do you think that it would take to get that higher percent number at this university?
I think, a couple of things I've talked about we're working on is making the program as accessible and convenient as possible. That's a huge factor. We want to make it convenient and easy for everybody. So we're working on some design aspects for that. Education is the other huge piece. Educating people about how to recycle is also a big component of the program.